every week. Catch it fresh as on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.
Yes, sir. We back. It's the Field Level, the football podcast of the West Coast. Hey, I'm Pat. That's Quan. That's CT. Hey, we back live again, man. We live on Facebook. We live on YouTube right now. Quan, CT, what's going on with my guys?
Feeling like a Millie. What's going on, Field Level family, man? It's time. We back. We live. Let's get it.
Hey, CT, what's the word?
I'm chocolate and blessed, baby. I'm good.
Chocolate and blessed.
And talk my stuff, man. It's a nice little episode. We live, baby. So I'm excited, man. Let's get it.
We back at it, man. Rob, what's going on with you, bro? Happy
What's
to see you back
Rob?
on, man.
Wow.
We back on. Got the Field Level family back, man.
You see it. Hey, I'm representing season 2, all season 2, Rob.
Hey, Quan, tilt that head back. That'll be perfect for me.
Nah. Not too far back, because if it fall off, then they gonna see the hairline, and they don't want to see that.
Hold on, let me sip my cream soda.
Cream soda.
Hey, that is the. I don't like the container that's holding it though. We gotta swap that out.
That's the best part about it. It make it taste better when you're drinking from a winner. You hear what I'm talking about? Hey, Dan, look.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we just should we just jump in tonight? I think we should just jump in with it all tonight, man. It's been a crazy time. Hopefully you guys have been following us on YouTube. Hopefully you're subscribed. Hopefully that you're have that notification bell on to see every time we're on there. But we've been on YouTube. Now we back live. It feels different. It hit a little different. We've been talking about free agency a little bit and everything that's been going on. But today I wanted to kind of jump on. We wanted to have a conversation because free agency, we've seen a lot of the momentum. We've seen a lot of the moves. We've seen a lot of what has happened, what's been going on.
Yep.
And I just kind of want to see, man, Quan, CT, y'all forgive me. My allergies is whooping my butt right now.
Oh, you like me right now then?
Man, I'm messed up, bro. But Quan, CT, I wanted you guys, let's set it off. Like, let's kind of grade out free agency as it's gone, as it's transpired up until this point. Your winners and losers, who won big in your eyes, who didn't do enough. Let's start off with let's really just kind of start with who really won big in free agency from your point of view. Quan, let's start off with you.
Oh man, there's a lot of teams, man. A lot of teams. Raider Nation for life. You already know. But there's a lot of teams that won, bro. But I'm gonna just talk about the most recent one, and I'm gonna talk about the New York Football Giants, man. They came out swinging for the fences, and I think this also shows the confidence that they have in Daniel Jones to see if he is the quarterback for the future, and they're giving him every opportunity because this is year 3, which is kind of like the year that they need to make a decision after this is over on that 5th-year option. And they have given him one of the most underrated receivers. Clearly the best receiver in free agency this year, but overall one of the most underrated in Kenny Golladay. That signing today was huge. Mm-hmm. Huge. He has only been injured for the better part of last season, but before that, came out of nowhere. I believe it was a 4th-round pick. Came out of nowhere and just put it on the map. So I like that signing. You couple that with Adoree Jackson coming over from Tennessee, who was a 1st-round draft pick. We all know he got speed to burn. You put him in at corner to match with James Bradbury, who's one of the best corners in the league. Put him out there. That just bolsters their secondary when you got Logan Ryan playing safety and nickel with Jabril Peppers, who finally found his role, and he killing it. So I like what the Giants did in free agency. They are swinging for the fences. And when you look at their division and then you look at their roster, I know Washington gets all the pub for defense in that division, but the Giants' defense is stout. They are stout linebackers, stout secondary. I just went over stout D line when you added Leonard Williams with his big contract and Dexter Lawrence, who's still on that D line. They got some monsters. So I'm gonna say for right now on my first round with y'all on this, winners to the Giants for sure.
CT, who you got, buddy?
We've kind of touched on a little bit. I still got to stick with Big Bill, man, and New England. I think overall they just had the best package. You bring in, Kendrick Bourne to be that second or third wideout for you, good energy guy, possession receiver. It could be a safety net potentially for Cam. Like I just alluded to, Cam Newton. The name alone, used to excite you. Didn't have the best year, had a lot going on. I truly believe that give this man an off season, give him an opportunity to mesh with his teammates more so than he was able to, in quick fashion before the season started based off of all the COVID regulations and whatnot, and not even knowing if we were going to have a season. No excuse. He needs to play better, but I do believe that he has some weapons around him that would allow him to do so. Obviously, they lose Patrick Chung. I think that's big from a leadership perspective, but so many players returning. That Kyle Van Noy came back. He didn't play well in, a few other spots, but he plays well in that system and will play hard for Bill. And then continuing to add, man. I mean, Nelson Aguilar, he balled out last year for the Raiders. So I imagine that the way they will use him will allow him to excel, and I want to say that they copycat themselves. They're looking for their next Deion Branch. I'm going to throw a name at y'all.
I love Deion Branch.
Maybe Nelson Aguilar is that. And then let's talk about what they did in the tight end position. Hunter Henry hurt a lot, but a talented tight end and potentially could excel in this system. And he doesn't have to necessarily be the guy because Jonnu Smith is there and he's a boy as well. So, two tight ends that can help dominate the situation like they had in the past with Gronk and Hernandez at one point in time. So, I think that they're making the right moves. I know they're still looking at a few options in the running back position, but they seem to set themselves up well to kind of retool and create some dominance, hopefully in the AFC East for them, as they were a disappointment last year for themselves.
Absolutely,
without a doubt, man. I have a couple teams that I was looking at, a couple teams that I thought about, but it all came down for me to the New York Jets. I really enjoy. I really enjoy what the Jets did in free agency. They went out. They got Keelan Cole, who was tearing it up for the last few years in Jacksonville. They went out. I see you. Went out. Got Corey Davis, who's been a really serviceable wideout in this league. So they addressed the positions that they definitely needed to upgrade at. Right. Then they go out. They get Sheldon Rankins, who's a solid D tackle in this league and does well. I thought it was big for them to re-sign Marcus May on a franchise tag at least, but getting him back in the building. But my favorite signing, honestly, was LaMarcus Joyner. I'm interested to see how he looks in a Robert Saleh's defense. I'm interested to see how Robert Saleh uses LaMarcus Joyner. We've seen what he could have been when he was with the Rams, right? Didn't really quite use him all the way. Even when he got to the Raiders, didn't really quite use him how I thought he should be used. I'm interested to see how Robert Saleh is able to utilize LaMarcus Joyner in that offense. On top of, they got a center in Dan Freeney, got Carl Lawson, got Jared Davis. They got some pieces now that
that's a sneaky good move right there. Jared Davis,
Jared Davis was a really, really good pickup right there. So with them, I'm interested to see. And for me, honestly, I don't think that they're done yet. I think they still go out and get K'Wan Williams, who I feel like could be a really, really good nickel for them, and frees LaMarcus Joyner up to play whatever Robert Saleh sees he deems fit for him to play in that defense. So the Jets for me, they got the job done, bro.
I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
You said LaMarcus Joyner, when he was in St. Louis, his best success was when he was playing the safety role and then at times coming down to play the nickel. With Robert Saleh coming over, do you guys see him as like their new version of Jimmy Ward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think they'll have Marcus May kind of play a Jaquiski Tartt kind of feel, which Marcus May is great at. But I do think that he can utilize him in that same way he uses Jimmy. Come down, maybe even blitz a little bit. Come down, play some nickels, stay single high. Sometimes it's a toy for him. It's a toy for him. And if they're my 1A, for me, honestly, the Miami Dolphins is my 1B right now. I know it sounds slightly crazy, but with them going out, and I know if Will Fuller can stay healthy,
that's a big if.
Will Fuller. If Will Fuller can stay healthy, Will Fuller and Devontae Parker, you give Tua some real weapons right there. Then on top of that fact, you got don't escape me right now, my man from UW who's playing running back there. Gaskin. You have Gaskin. You now couple Gaskin with Malcolm Brown, who can actually come in and compete at that running back position and really give you a really good solid. Yeah, really give him a solid little situation. He ran pretty well for the Rams.
What about Ahmed?
That's what
the other UW running back, Ahmed. Salvon Ahmed. And he there?
Mm-hmm. He's still there. But I thought that was cool. I like the McKinney at linebacker situation, but I really feel like that Will Fuller can really get those guys going and really get Tua going.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
My man Greg said, "What's good, fam?" Greg, it's good to have you back on. Mom say, "Hey, y'all." Greg agrees with a lot of what you said, Quan, and said the Giants is making moves.
Greg, I'm telling you, I think that they know the 5th-year option is coming up next year. They're gonna have to make a decision on Daniel Jones, and what better way to make that decision if you give him everything he needs to where there's no excuses. You got Saquon back healthy, Evan Ingram is still there, Shepard in the slot, Galladay on one side, Slayton on the other. I mean, what more could you want?
Leonard Williams back.
Right.
I thought it was interesting. You guys tell me how you feel about it. I thought it was interesting. The Cleveland Browns signed 10 free agents, right? So they signed let's say they signed 7 free agents. 7 free agents, right? 6 of those or 5 of those was on the defensive side of the ball. They went out, watch this. They go out, they get John Johnson from the Rams. They go out to get Troy Hill from the Rams. Then they go get Anthony Walker and Tack McKinley and Malik Jackson.
They got Tack.
They got Tack. But it shows me that they're really putting the emphasis on defense coming into this offseason.
Which is needed.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I was thinking about this and I was gonna make a post on our group page on our Facebook, but with all the signs the Browns are doing, I really don't understand why. Honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I know they need help on the defensive side, but I think they're overkill, and they're reminding me of what the Eagles tried to do years ago when they signed Asamoah from the Raiders. And they just tried to build a super team. And it seems like they're trying to build a super team every single year. And that formula to me is not working for them. Because to me, what it says with all these signings on defense says that the players they're drafting, they're either already starting to give up on them or they don't trust them because of their health wise. Denzel Ward is a top 10 corner when healthy. He's injured too much. Grant Delpit, they just drafted him in the 2nd round last year. Remember, the top safety off the board, injured for the whole season.
Right. I think Greg just asked a pretty good question, and I want to pose that question. With the moves that the Giants made this offseason, you spoke about the Giants, Quan. Does that put Daniel Jones under more pressure now? Is Daniel Jones under pressure to perform this year?
Absolutely. I mean, it has to be pressure. I think his rookie season, he had pressure, but he got over it once Eli took the bench and they allowed the young guy to go. Last season, he was playing very, very well. And then when he got hurt and came back, that's when the roller coaster started. There has to be pressure when you're in your 3rd year, especially this year when the division is wide open. Even with Dak re-signing, the Cowboys were 1-4 before he got hurt. Let's not forget that. So the division is wide open. You know what I mean? And all it takes is a chance to get in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think there's pressure, Greg, for sure.
What about you, CT? You feel like there's pressure on Daniel Jones this year?
Yeah, it's definitely pressure. People have been naming him Danny Dimes for the last 2 years, and he ain't really looked like it, man. He's had some moments. I think that, even watching him in the Niners game, I think that he showed some mobility. He didn't really have too many weapons at that particular time, but they had that running back, Gallman. No, is it Gallman?
That's my guy.
Wayne
Gallman, yeah.
Gallman.
Wayne Gallman, yeah.
You know, so they showed a little bit of promise considering they didn't have some of their star players. So I do expect them to excel and be better this year and compete, you know, in the NFC East. Obviously, that's probably the worst division in football, but there's an opportunity for them to sneak in. And they had a shot last year to sneak in as well. Just some things didn't work out towards the end. So then he's got I was gonna call him Danny Dimes. I can't even do that yet. He needs to prove that he can be the franchise quarterback, replace Eli Manning, and step up when they need him to, especially with the weapons he's been provided. And real quick, Quan, you had mentioned you don't agree with those moves. I don't agree with what you said, and this is why. Because you mentioned Denzel Ward is one of the best corners when healthy. You mentioned Grant Delpit couldn't see the field shortly after he was drafted. This is why you load up for depth, you know, the way things have been working out for them. So they loaded up in the secondary, which is a need. And think about all the shootouts they were in last year. Probably one of the greatest games that we've seen in the last, I'll say, 5 years was that game they had against Baltimore. And it was a straight shootout. You can't allow that to happen with Baker as your quarterback based on what we've seen with Baker, as he can be kind of that. He'll give you a touchdown, but he'll also give you a pick or two. So you need that solid defense to solidify that for you because, yes, the formula for them is to run the ball, but that doesn't mean it's always going to work that way.
I think one thing that's very interesting to me, and this is just my personal opinion, and then we'll get into our losers of free agency. Another team that I look at, and it brings a little slight bit of interest, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. We can pretty much call it that Trevor Lawrence will be the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars next year. Can we all kind of agree with that?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that.
I was having a Quan moment.
Yeah. So what did Jacksonville do? Okay, you still got the rookie from last year, the kid from Colorado, right?
Shenault, Laviska Shenault.
Laviska Shenault. You got the DJ Chark,
who's a Pro Bowl receiver now.
Who's a Pro Bowl receiver. Well, then what do? You go out and get Marvin Jones.
Yes, sir.
You go out and get Philip Dorsett, who's a burner who can probably give you a little bit here and there.
Yep, he's depth for sure.
You go out and you add depth to that backfield by getting Carlos Hyde, who's been there, who knows the system, so to speak.
We like that.
But then the other part that you do to go out and help out, you re-sign Sidney Jones, but then you also sign Shaquille Griffin, who can play at a Pro Bowl caliber at the corner position. I think for me personally, they have the weapons. You franchise tag your tackle in Cam Robinson. You sign offensive guard Tyler Shatley. You make a couple moves here and there to shore up that O-line. Then you add those weapons in. I'm interested to see what this Jacksonville team looks like. Jacksonville for me as a team, going back to the Blake Bortles moments when they were right there on the cusp of making something happen. Saxonville. I'm interested to see how this team looks next year because they're loading up. When like I say, you said it myself. You said it yourself. DJ Chark is a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Oh yeah, big time.
Marvin Jones is a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Big time.
You still have Laviska Shenault, who's kind of coming to his own, right? You get Philip Dorsett. I'm interested to see how this team could potentially look. Dare I say I could even see them going out and drafting Kyle Pitts.
Oh, if they do, if they do that, it might be curtains. But when you know what, that's crazy you say that, Pat, because that division, I know the Titans have been coming out of that division for the past few, but it's not like they've run away with the division every year. It seems to always be close. You know what I mean? Because if I'm mistaken, the Colts are in that division too, and both of them made the playoffs last year. So
right,
it ain't like the division is getting blown out, like Kansas City's going 14-2 and can't nobody catch them. So if the Jaguars can hit on all their picks, and I also think they need to hit at safety because CJ Henderson is going to start at one corner, Shaq Griffin going to start the other side, If they can hit that safety, because I don't know who their safeties are, but if they can hit there, oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a cool move. Let's kick it off. Let's talk about who lost. Let's talk about who lost in free agency. And I'm gonna kick it off, and I'm gonna throw it to CT. My loser in free agency this year is a team that did not sign a single free agent. Did not sign one free agent. They re-signed one of their own free agents, but that's all.
I know who it is.
Packers.
I knew it.
The Green Bay Packers did not get better at all. Not in no position group did they get better. Matter of fact, they re-signed Aaron Jones, but they lost Williams. I'm like, you didn't get better at no position. No position, not one. Not a one. Not a uno. They didn't get better nowhere. So I'm of the mindset right now, man, is that I don't know what the Green Bay Packers are doing, bro. I really don't know what the Green Bay Packers are doing. Are they just that disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers? Are they?
Come on, Pat.
Oh, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. I'm getting up
man.
there. I'm getting up there in age. Here I am. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm getting up there in age. Yes, I have Devontae Adams, arguably the best in the game. But then after that, I got St. Brown and somebody even last name is hard for me to pronounce.
Kumaro or whatever his name is.
Kumaro and Lazard.
There you go.
You mean you couldn't get me a Kendrick Bourne? You couldn't get me you couldn't get me a Marvin Jones? You couldn't give me one? You couldn't give me nothing? Straight like that? Like you couldn't make me better nowhere? That's terrible. That is absolutely unequivocally terrible. It makes me feel like they're pushing Aaron out.
No.
That's how I feel. You got to get that man some help. CT, what's going on, man? Talk to me.
So we're gonna keep it in the North, and I'm gonna say the Bears.
The Bears.
Ferocious, horrendous, however you want to write it, however you want to say it, it's been terrible.
What you mean, man? They signed Desmond Trufant.
Yeah, you dub.
You dub.
You hear that? Yeah, I don't hear nothing either. You have your bridge quarterback in Andy Dalton because you couldn't get Russell Wilson. I don't think Andy's a bad player, but this isn't a good sign. Let's just put it that way. Allen Robinson, I feel for him. He's been waiting to play with a good quarterback for some time, man. It seems like it's going to continue to be a problem. Lots of rumors about what they're going to do defensively and changes they may make. Obviously, cutting Kyle Fuller, starting cornerback for them. Arguably a Pro Bowl player. It's sad to see that they just can't seem to figure out their quarterback situation. It's pretty much been our lifetime. Let's be real, fellas. Other than Jay Cutler was the only quarterback that was kind of like, okay. I mean, they got to the Super Bowl with Grossman, but let's be real. How did they get there? You know what I mean? They went with the standard defense, of course. They just can't figure this out, man, and it's getting worse and worse. So we'll see. But I definitely think the Bears took a step back, and it'll be interesting to see how competitive they are.
I'm gonna say my team, but then I want us to kind of dive into y'all two teams because I want to dive into y'all two teams that y'all picked for the losers. But I'm gonna go back to the NFC East, and I'm gonna talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Pops is on here.
So Unga, I'm sorry, but they didn't get better neither. I mean, well, I guess if you want to count re-signing Dak a part of free agency when he was already, we all knew he was going back. Then I guess
what you mean they signed Keanu O'Neal?
You know what? Let's talk about that. I thought that was a horrible move because okay, so we talked about when healthy. He is the ultimate when healthy. Bruh is never healthy. He had one healthy season, and that was last year. But before that, he never played more than maybe half a season. You know what I mean? And then, so let me get this straight. We're gonna take a safety who can't stay healthy and make him play linebacker,
to bang
where he's
more.
gonna have more contact on a down to down basis. That's what we're doing here.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
How about
Bro,
them
they
Cowboys?
that was the most strangest move.
They did sign Jake McQuaid.
Yeah, and they also I think their
That's
best signing was probably re-signing Jordan Lewis, who's their corner, who they're probably going to try to bump up to the slot. I actually think he has some potential, but I thought they were the losers because they have a defensive problem. They were historically bad, and you did nothing but bring in Keanu Neal. Just saying. Hey, me's just saying to leave him alone, but I bet you he agreed with me though. Well, I can't talk. You can't. Why I can't talk about secondary? Why not?
I guess he's talking about the Raiders secondary.
They just as bad. So and they're like we worse.
CT. Oh, well, no, Quan. You said you want to dive in on our teams.
Okay. Right. I want to just talk about. So CT, you said the Bears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton, I agree. He's the ultimate bridge quarterback, but he wanted to start, so he went to the only place where he can get it. But my question for you is, what other options did they have if we all knew Foles was not coming back and neither was Trubisky?
I would have taken Jacoby Brissett.
Nick Foles is still there though, under contract.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything with it yet.
Yeah, but he's not going to start. He's not going to start when he went 0-5 last year. He's not going.
But they got to move him though. That's my.
I would have took Brissett.
You got to move him because now you got a financial mess at the quarterback position. You're paying Andy Dalton $10 million, right? Probably with a little bit of incentive, and then you got Nick Foles for that crazy contract they gave him last year. Like that's.
Yeah, but that's money. Yeah, but that's a money talk. I'm talking about like as far as like a quarterback to put them in a position to win. What options did they have? I know Pat says Brissett. Is Brissett that much better than Dalton?
Fitzpatrick.
I'd have took Brissett.
Fitzpatrick.
Now that they could have did, but
that would have been better, yeah.
But other than Fitzpatrick,
Jay Cutler, Miles. Jay Cutler was nasty.
But wasn't Brissett under contract, or did the coach resign?
He just signed to the what's it called? To the who I said the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe Brissett, but I don't know if Brissett is that much better than Dalton. I'm just saying.
I would have said Fitzpatrick though for sure.
Yeah, that one for sure. So I feel you on that though, CT, because like the Bears just really didn't make no moves. But now, Pat, you said the Packers. Look here, man, we got to stop this with the Aaron Rodgers ain't got help, man, because.
Oh, come on, bro.
Listen,
be better than that. Be better.
Listen, just hear me out. Hear me out.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I was thinking
Lazard.
about that too.
Two things can be true.
Allen Lazard.
Listen, well, first of all, Lazard ain't bad though. So now look.
Chill out.
Hey, Brissett is in Miami.
He's in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay. CT, answer this question. Would Allen Lazard be a starter on the Niners right now?
No, sir.
I don't know. I don't know. That's debatable to me. But anyway, here's my point.
Let me ask you a question. Would he start on the Raiders right now?
Absolutely.
Yes. I start on the Raiders right now, receiver.
You absolutely would not. You might get drafted by Mark Davis because you fast, but I don't know. But anyway, here's my point though. The Green Bay Packers, like I said, two things can be true, bro. They don't spend money in free agency. They don't. They just don't. And the one year they did it, it was mostly on defense, and it still ain't got them a ring with the Smith DNs, right? And they signed Adrian Amos from the Bears. But they just don't do it often. They believe in drafting and developing. All of the players that they have, Devontae, drafted and developed. Aaron Jones, drafted and developed. The guy they just let go, Williams, who now they're going to replace with Taylor. I mean, not Taylor. What's Bruh's name from Boston College, the running back?
Williams.
Yeah.
That dude. They drafted and they're going to develop him. Their tight end who came out of nowhere that you really like, Pat Tongan, drafted and developed. So clearly they know what they're doing. I know they're not signing free agents that are ready to go right out the gate, but they draft and develop. Aaron Rodgers has plenty of talent, bro. Aaron Jones, all Pro Bowl. We all know Adams, all pro. Tongan probably should have been a Pro Bowl player this year if Evan Ingram didn't get snuck up in there for some reason. So he got talent around him. It was, but it's not like he don't got no talent, bro. Like what do we want? Like, come on.
Is that talent or is that guys?
You got to have a real conversation, though. Yes, they built through the draft. That's Ted Thompson's way, right? Yeah. They have a new GM. It's Gunkrist, right? I mean, you can't live like that and be okay with being, pretty good or above average. Like, you need to win it all. You have arguably, one of the better quarterbacks to ever play the game, skill-wise, maybe statistically down the road. And you're wasting that window because you're not adding to that team and supporting him in the way that needs to be said. And Pat's 100% right about that. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not a huge Green Bay guy, but it is sad to see that his career is being wasted away because they're not adding the talent around him.
Yeah,
so
but
what you're saying, though, Quan, is this. You name guys like Lazard, you name guys like Tunyon, you name guys like whoever else, right? The Kumaros of the world, right?
You're going to say that name forever now.
Those names don't equate to the Marvin Joneses of the world or the Antonio Browns that are still around. The names of guys, the Deshaun Jacksons of the names of guys that have proven in this league that they can play at a high level, Pro Bowl caliber level. We're not talking about guys that are good in situations, guys that could potentially make plays here and there. I'm talking about guys that are on the precipice of all pro play. When you have the ability, when you have guys like that out there with that ability, and you don't even look at them, that is a slap in the face.
Okay, so now here's my only pushback on you, and I only got one example, and then I'll be quick. We don't know if they're not looking at Antonio Brown. He's out there still. We don't know if they're not. He would fit there, right? I know why they didn't go get Deshaun Jackson, because they already got a downfield threat in Scantling, who's just as maybe not as fast as Jackson, but he's their downfield guy. Now check this out: the Chiefs on their offense that makes them go right there. That's the engine that makes them go. They don't got no free agents that they brought in. All their guys are drafted, except Sammy Watkins, but he didn't really contribute like that. So
he's still out there.
He is out. He is out there.
You mean Sammy Watkins?
he is. But my point to you is, Tyreek Hill, they got a Super Bowl ring with all guys that they've drafted though.
Come on, but how that doesn't happen often, Quan.
And it doesn't always happen, but it also
that's an anomaly.
But signing free agents isn't a guaranteed Super Bowl ring neither. If that's the case, Josh Allen and them should have won it last year because they got Stephon Diggs.
Tell that to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That signing a free agent doesn't guarantee.
You don't get Brady all the time. It doesn't happen all the time, Pat.
Go ahead and tell that to Tampa Bay.
It don't happen all the time, man.
Tom Brady equate to a championship.
Tom Brady,
you know what I mean? Let's make that. Let's make that known. Miles says, "What does precipice mean?"
I can't even spell it.
I don't even. What does precipice mean? Precipice means you're right there, bro.
You on the cusp.
You on the brink. You're right there. It's almost going to happen for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're right there. So that's what precipice means. It is what it is.
You trying to look it up real quick?
No, because I wanted to see. No, I was looking it up. It's like a tall rock. Like you're right there on what is it? Was a tall rock? Yeah.
Oh man, we call those mountains.
You're dangerously close. Okay, precipice, dangerously close. Anyway, with that being said, though, guys, I got one more segment I want to get to before we get off here tonight. Quan, you are a Raider fan. You guys live in the AFC. You guys live in the AFC West. It means right there, dangerously close. I just said it. I was gonna call you something, but this when I publish this video, I have to put kid friendly. I was gonna call you something. Anyway, butthead. You're a Raider fan, AFC West. CT, you are a Niner fan, NFC West. I want to take just a quick brief few moments. Quan, I want you to grade out the AFC West for me. CT, I want you to grade out the NFC West for me, and I'll come together and put it all together.
Are you talking about like you talking about
free agency? And free agency.
Okay. See, you can go first.
All right, I'll be quick. I'll start with San Francisco. I would give them a probably about an A minus right now. I still believe there's a little bit of depth that we can grab, but very happy with the cap situation. You know, they're about 20 mil. Just signed Jaquiski Tart back, who could be a potential Pro Bowl starter if he can stay healthy. You know, that solidifies that safety position if needed. I got a little bit more depth with is it Tavon Walker or something like that? Forgot his last name.
Tavon Wilson.
Wilson, there you go. And then obviously Jason Verrett, Trent Williams, Juice Check. You know, the list goes on. They made some very, very prominent moves that have opened or continue to keep open that window.
Alex Mack.
Alex Mack is huge for Jimmy G, if that's the quarterback, whoever we work with in that situation. Our running backs coming back. So I'm really excited about that look. And then you're looking at the Rams, B+, A minus. And the reason I say that is because
I want you as my teacher.
Leonard Floyd, you know, he was the Russell Wilson stopper, and he potentially could be, you know, the stopper for our good guy over in Arizona, man, Kyler Murray. You never know.
Everybody was the Russell Wilson stopper last year.
Yeah, but it was prominent in the playoff game, which is the most pivotal time to make it happen. Aaron Donald coming back, obviously. You have Matt Stafford. You've upgraded your quarterback situation. You know, overall, I believe that they're a little bit more mature as a team. Deshaun Jackson is interesting if they can use him properly. I think he's a little washed, but
he just want to retire at home.
Yeah, for sure. Higbee's still a baller. You know, still need to work on the line, but I think that they made some pretty good moves thus far to just make themselves competitive and financially stable. Seattle, I mean, C-, D. They got Carson back, paid him some money, which I think is probably all they could do there. I think they need to improve their receiver situation, a little bit more depth. Figure out what you want to do with Russell Wilson. You know, it was put on here, maybe they know something about Wilson. That's a good fact. He's definitely not the same player. I think that window's starting to turn for him a little bit. So he's going to have to be smart and put things around him. And I understand why he's kind of opening his mouth now, because they do need to take advantage of this opportunity they have with him right now at the age of, I want to say, 32. And then who we got? Arizona?
Yeah.
Arizona, I believe I'll give him C+, maybe B-. AJ Green, interesting move. I think it's interesting that they got two real vets on that team. I told you I didn't really love the way AJ Green kind of finished out his career in Cincinnati. I know he was hurt, but I don't know. I just kind of didn't feel like he put his all into it, and he had an opportunity to really show out with a young quarterback, and I just feel like he didn't really do it. You know, dropping passes that he normally would catch, it just didn't look good. You know, so you bring him over, you have an aging Fitzgerald who they just use in such awkward ways at times. You know, obviously you got D-Hop, I get that. Yeah, it's an interesting situation for them. I feel like they are surely improving, you know, as far as bringing the right presence and winners on their squad. But at the same time, you know, I think that there's so much more that they need to do in order for them to compete and actually, you know, win the division.
All right, Quan, you ready to rock?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Man, CT, you did a great job on that, man, because you actually had letter grades. Man, you quick on your toes. I don't know if I could do that, man. I know. Okay. I'll go 1 through 4. Fourth place being the worst. We could put the grades how we want them. The Chargers are fourth. I just don't know what they did. I didn't hear nothing. I know they lost Henry.
They got Jared Cook.
They made some good moves on the line.
Well, Pouncey retired. I know that, and I know they did sign a center. I just can't remember his name right now.
Corey Linsley.
Oh, okay. He's nice. Mm-hmm. But they also lost Hunter Henry, and you re-signed him with another guy who's just bouncing around the league now. When his best years were with the Raiders, he should have stayed. But then I wouldn't have Waller, so that's all right. So I'm going to put them there, but I'm only putting them there kind of by default because it's not like they really had a lot of holes. I think they kind of addressed a lot of their holes. And the guys that they did let go, they let go of their safety, Rayshawn Jenkins. That's who. He went to Jacksonville, Pat. So, yeah, I think they're going to be dope. But they let him go clearly because Derwin James is coming back. So I just don't think they're last just because they didn't really have a lot of holes. They just need to grow up quick. The Broncos, I like the Broncos really getting fuller, and I really put a high emphasis on Justin Simmons because they also have a quarterback issue going on. They clearly don't believe in Drew Lock, I think, with all the noise you've been hearing. Lock gang. Yeah, Lock gang might he might get his lock picked. You know what I'm saying? But I really do. I love what they're doing, man. That secondary is young. They got that guy from Iowa. You bring over Kyle Fuller on a 1-year deal, and then you re-sign arguably the best safety in the league right now, or the best free safety, I should say, in the league right now to a big contract.
They got Ronald Darby too.
He's garbage. He's the one from Washington, right? He came over from Washington.
I thought he was in Tampa. Where was Ronald Darby at?
He definitely was not in Tampa. I think he was in Washington.
Where are we at?
He's all right.
Yeah, I shouldn't say. I hate that word garbage.
Not to start, but a good depth guy.
Washington. But he came.
I take it back. He's not garbage.
Yeah, he came from Washington. He was in Philly for most of his career, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take it back. I don't like using that word garbage because I can't say anybody garbage in the league. I ain't in the league, but I don't think he's just a needle mover. I'll say that. And they let go of Philip Lindsay, but they clearly just did that because of Melvin Gordon and what they think he can still provide. So I put them there. And then 2. This is a toss-up because the Chiefs.
Homer Simpson. You out here Homer Simpson it.
Who, me?
Yeah, you out here Homer Simpson.
Oh, a bunch of
Nah, you out here about to pick the Raiders as the top. Y'all didn't do nothing. How is you about to make them the top team in the AFC West in free agency, and y'all signed John Brown as your highlight free agent? Get out of here.
We signed Yannick Ngakoue first off as the high ticket free agent.
But you not about to do that. Not after you done called Yannick Ngakoue the whole year. You was not about to do that. You was not. I will not stand for that.
Hey, but he's the big ticket though.
Nah, nope.
Wow.
Hey, I'm consistent.
Big ticket that 2 teams needed to see.
No, I'm gonna put the.
You for sure a homer when you about to make the Raiders the number 1 team in the AFC West.
You didn't let me finish. I said it's a toss-up, but the Raiders will be second. You didn't let me finish. They're gonna be there just because, like you said, we didn't really do nothing to move the needle. Mariota, a report came out today that Mariota is going to restructure his contract to be the backup, which I think is the best move for him. But yeah, Ngakoue, I like him, but like I told y'all last time, I just don't. You can't be that wrong when you on 3 teams in 1 year. So
you just said you like him.
Well, he only 25 and he's in the top.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
What? I said he was. Did I not say? See, did I not say he was dope? But how dope can you be when you on 3 teams in 1 year?
You didn't say he was dope.
What I said? He
was dope. Better than what you had.
Prior to that, you said
I didn't say he was trash.
Ain't good. You be on these. You on 2 different.
Okay.
Teams. You was on 3 teams in 1 year.
Yeah, he all right. He's solid. He all right. But he ain't raw if he on 3 teams in 1 year. For sure, I stand by that.
You lost Gabe Jackson. How are you guys number 2?
We number 2, bro. We number 2. And stop bringing up old wounds. You're making it hurt because Gabe. I don't care about Gabe Jackson. I care about Rodney Hudson. That was the worst thing ever. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs lost all their linemen except Joe Thuney. They signed Joe Thuney from New England. That was big, but they lost both their tackles out of retirement.
He'll be fine.
We don't know. We don't know, man. Kyle Long was wearing Skechers with his dad. We don't know what he doing.
So I'm gonna do this right quick. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna run through it real fast, top to bottom. The Arizona Cardinals, and I'll do it like how CT did it, and then I'll also do it like how you did it. The Arizona Cardinals, I'll give Arizona a B. Who knows what you're going to get out of AJ Green, but I give them a B strictly because they got Rodney Hudson. They shored up the center position.
Wow, that's what we're doing now. Don't be disrespectful out here.
They shored up the center position for Kyler Murray. Then they went out and they got J.J. Watt. Who knows what he still has in the tank? I'm not afraid of him, but if he's able to put something down, that'll be pretty solid for them. Then they made a litany of different moves. They went out and got Brian Winters. They got Max Garcia. So they made some moves here and there. They re-signed some guys that they should have re-signed. They re-signed Marcus Golden, Robert Alford, Kelvin Beachum. They made some solid re-signs. So I'll give them a B.
They lost Reddick.
Yeah. The Los Angeles Rams, for me personally, I'm gonna give Los Angeles a C minus. Reason being, you lost John Johnson, you lost Troy Hill. You lost Samson Abukum. You lost Michael Brockers. You lost Josh Reynolds. The number of guys that they did not do good in keeping and maintaining, and all you brought in was Deshaun Jackson. So you lost you lost Troy Hill, John Johnson, Samson Abukum, Michael Brockers, Josh Reynolds, and you brought in Deshaun Jackson. So for me, I'm gonna have to give you a C minus, potentially D plus, depending on how I feel about you on that particular day. As it pertains to the San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to give the San Francisco 49ers a B plus. B plus is kind of where I'm leaning. I'm interested to see what they do with that remaining, the remaining pennies of money, so to speak. I want to see if they're going to bring back a guy like a Kerry Hyder, who in my opinion, deserves a contract because he was the best defensive lineman the 49ers had last year. When everybody was going down, the Mala consistency for me was Kerry Hyder. So I feel like he deserves a contract. So right now I'm at a B plus with them. One, because I feel like Alex Mack probably still has 2 good years, 2 All-Pro years. That's enough for me to stop right there. Samson Ebukam, I sent you guys something earlier or the other day. Last week's show, I said, what did I say? Samson Ebukam for me gives me Shaquille Barrett vibes. Gives me Shaq Barrett vibes. Shaq Barrett was in Denver, kind of wasn't really in the rotation, kind of got a little bit of love, got to Tampa and blew up. I get that same feel from Sosa. I feel like he can potentially do that.
He already got a nickname?
His name is Sosa. That's what his handle. So it's Bosa and Sosa. It's been out there.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
We didn't make that up.
That was already a thing. Trent Sherfield, don't know who that is, so I was like, whatever. But I do believe the Trent Williams deal, the Kyle Juszczyk deal, DJ Jones was a sneaky, great depth sign to get him back. And then E-Man and Verrett and Kwaski, I'm okay with. So I give them a B plus. I give the Seattle Seahawks a C because they got better in the position. Gerald Everett's an upgraded tight end from Jacob Hollister and those other guys. Gerald Everett's an upgrade. So I give them a C just for upgrading in that particular position. You lose Shaq Griffin. You lose Shaquem Griffin. Who really cares? But then you bring in Kello. And this is why, like, Kello for me, and y'all know I've had an up and down kind of ride with Kello, especially last year. What worries me is that Kello is going to get to Seattle and ball out and be everything that he was supposed to be in San Francisco, a la DJ Reed. DJ Reed was supposed to be a baller for the Niners, didn't quite pan out, got to Seattle last year and balled. So I'm worried about that. So with that being said, 4 at the bottom for me is the Rams. Right behind the Rams, I'll give you the Seahawks. I'll give you the Cardinals, and then I'll give you the Niners at 1. And that's kind of how that cookie crumbles, man. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the next coming days, but we are starting to get ready and ramp up for, guess what? The draft.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Dare I say we're in April next month or next week? Dare I say we're in April?
We got some stuff to talk about because we already been kind of going at it over our little group text. talking about Fields and how it don't matter what he ran. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't 441. Put some respect on his name. And I don't care if you Ohio State quarterbacks don't plan out. He's from Georgia.
Hey, CT, remember we were talking on the phone last week about the whole Buckner? Remember our whole long talk about Buckner?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how what I said and then now how me and Pat didn't talk about it, and then he says that Kerry Hyder is his name, was your best D lineman, but you overpaying Armstead and you gonna draft Ken. Hey man, it's funny how I come back full circle. Huh? That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, QB right sometimes.
I don't even know what you're talking about personally. So you can keep your
you can catch the vibe. You can keep
your off-camera conversations to yourself. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. But nah, it's all good. We're gonna get back into it, man. We're gonna get this draft talk coming up. Who we feel like is the best fits and where. Y'all know we're probably gonna try to do a live show with the field level mock draft. Seeing if we can get it. And we also going to we might do we might do a live show draft day during the draft. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the vibe. You know what I mean? See if we can get something going. And we might all be together in the same room. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Who can tell? Who can tell what's gonna happen? But anyway, y'all stick with us, man. Y'all make sure that y'all following the Facebook page, Field Level. And also go ahead on while you're on Facebook. Type in Field Level Family and request to be a part of that private group with the Field Level Family where we drop all kind of nuggets. We have conversation. We drop breaking news. All that happens at the Field Level Family page on Facebook. Go ahead and request to be a part of that page. Make sure you're following us on YouTube or subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as liking with the notification bell on. Ding! As well as on Instagram. Follow us at the Field Level. Follow us on Twitter at the Field Level 1. Quan, any final words tonight, brother?
I just want to say thank you to my brothers, man. Pat, you always do a great job doing it. CT coming with the nuggets and also keeping us organized. You know, last season we was all over the place. CT doing this good job keeping us organized. And yeah, man, the family, man. Let's go, man. We getting it popping. QB right sometimes. Hashtag that. QB right sometimes.
CT.
Man, excited. You know, April's the month, man. The draft is arguably the biggest thing for us, man. That's the thing we get hyped up the most about. The times we come together, you know, we be at a headquarters, I call that, you know, Pat's house. And, you know, I'll bring the salsa. Shout out to Papa Lote's. That needs to happen.
Papa Lote's sauce. House salsa, not the Chipotle. It's too hot.
House, yeah, you got to have that. You got to have it. Absolutely. It needs to be refrigerated, all the stuff. But yeah, so I'm excited for that, man. We need to figure that out. Hopefully we can all, you know, come together and have a good time and set up this mock draft, man, because I think you'll be surprised with a lot of the twists and turns that we got cooking, you know, in regards to what's going to happen in this draft. Because if you think that the offseason has been crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet. So looking forward to that.
Big facts.
There it is, man. It's the Field Level. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe, notification bell on. Bing! Rock out to this song on our way out, man. It's the Field Level, the football podcast of the West Coast.
Peace.
Every week, catch your freshest on your TV. Field Level Football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field, running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera, action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day, and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.